Surrounding the moon landing with our two debaters, Bridget and Margaret. My name is Sammy Nielsen, and this is Rumor Has It. On July 20th, 1969, the United States made history through a mission known as Apollo 11, launched by NASA during the height of the Cold War space race. The mission carried 3 astronauts, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. After traveling nearly 240,000 miles through space, the Eagle separated from the main spacecraft and began its descent toward the moon's surface while Collins remained in orbit above. It was seen as a massive victory for the United States in the space race against the Soviet Union and a defining moment in scientific achievement and human exploration. So what really happened on July 20th, 1969? Was it one of humanity's greatest accomplishments? Or was it an elaborate production designed to convince the world that America had reached the moon first? In this episode, Bridget and Margaret will debate the evidence, break down the conspiracy theories, and examine whether the moon landing was fact, fiction, or something in between.
The moon landing conspiracy theory is the belief that the United States didn't actually land astronauts on the moon in 1969 and instead staged the entire event on Earth. It is argued that certain details from the Apollo 11 mission don't make sense. For example, the American flag appears to wave in the footage, even though there's no wind on the moon. Others point out that there are no visible stars in the photos taken from the lunar surface, or that the shadows in the images don't all fall in the same direction. These details have led me and others to believe that the landing may have been filmed on a soundstage using artificial lighting.
Now that we've heard the conspiracies about why people think the moon landing is fake, let's get into the proof on why it actually happened. Let's start with the physical evidence of the moon rocks. The astronauts returned with 842 pounds of moon rocks, core samples, sand, and dust, all from their mission.
Yeah!
These rocks have been analyzed all over the world by scientists and have been confirmed to be of lunar origin, showing cosmic ray exposure and no water. Not only is there physical evidence, there's also photographic evidence of the moon landing. There are many photos and images of the Apollo landing sites which show the lunar rover tracks and the descent stages of the lunar modules left behind. The Japanese Selene lunar probe also photographed evidence of the Apollo 15 landing site, providing more verification. During the time of the moon landing, the Soviet Union was tracking the Apollo spacecraft during its journeys because of an intense competition between these countries.
Thank you, Margaret and Bridget, for giving us both good ideas. I think with the evidence that you have given me, I'm going to go with the fact that Bridget's idea of that the moon landing was fake because of everything that she said. Thank you, Margaret and Bridget, for giving me both good ideas on whether I think the moon landing was fake or real. Right now, I think I'm going to stick with my decision that Bridget's side of that the moon landing was fake, but if you two both have anything to say, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, so first I would like to argue with Bridget's claim that the flag was not able to fly on the moon because, well, obviously there's no air in space. But if you look closely in the photo, there's a rod going across the top of the flag that makes it seem like the flag was flying in the non-existent wind on the moon. Well, actually, it's very possible that if it was fake and it was just on a set, they could also get a rod and put it in to make it look like they did that in real space, even though it was still on the set.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from, but how do you think they would get 862 pounds of rocks from the moon if they never actually went to the moon?
There's actually a thing called props. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's basically fake things that people use on movie sets to make it look like it's real. So, yeah. So they definitely just got some props.
Well, there actually is scientific evidence that the rocks were real because they were examined by scientists all over the world. And also, how would there be photos of the moon rover's tracks on the moon if it never actually went to the moon and we never actually went? Where would those tracks have come from?
From the set of the fake moon. They put a rover on the set of the fake moon and created tracks to appear as though people went to moon, even though they didn't.
Went to moon.
So, how would Japan's satellite be able to take photos of the real moon and show the tracks on the real moon? Japan wasn't in your movie set.
Connect. Everybody is connected, actually. Like, basically, everybody. Like, they're allies. Japan and U.S. definitely are not allies, but... Okay, I'm getting off a tangent. All I have to say is, sure, maybe some satellites have gone to the moon, but humans have not set foot on the moon.
That doesn't... How are there footprints on the moon if they never went there?
Talking about the rover.
Yeah, but the tracks from the rover had the astronauts' footprints.
It could just be a set.
It was all a set. Point blank.
They haven't had the same set for 50 years.
AI nowadays is crazy.
AI also, please. Hi. Also, I'm sorry. Also, so I think I'm not clearly understanding what you're talking about Japan seeing our footprints. Are you talking about Japan seeing our footprints now, like in the 21st century? Okay. So that means that...
Yes, I am.
Yeah, okay. So that means that it definitely, they could have made that up. Like, everything that we hear is, we don't know.
Thank you, Margaret and Bridget, for these 2 good points. I'm still sticking with my thought that I think Bridget, the idea that the moon landing was fake, but only from her points. Now, everyone, please go vote on our Instagram. Get ready to see what you think really happened. And next episode, we're going to be talking about Area 51, which will be very exciting, so tune in for next time.
Stay tuned. Thank you.
Peace out.